Hi, so in this video we're going to be looking at using the binomial expansion for estimating numerical expansions. Before we get going, I just want to remind us a little bit on the binomial expansion. I'm going to be using the binomial expansion in this form, and this is when we've set our a equals 1 and our b equals x in the traditional a plus b all to the power of n expansion. And if you remember, that I like this one because you just go up simply in powers of x, whatever your x might be, and then we can just find these coefficients using the NCR button on our calculator. Okay, so the example we're going to do is going to be in two parts. So the first part is we want to find the first four terms. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That just remind me what I have to find of this thing here. So I need to find the coefficient. So remember how to do it using our calculator. We put n, which is the power, and the power here is 11. Then we press the NCR button, which on my calculator you get by getting shift divide, and then R, which is the position in the sequence, remembering to start at position 0. So this is position 0, position 1. And so I put that and press equal, and that gives me 11. And then I get the second coefficient, same thing, but this time I have R equals 2 and R equals 3 gives me the third coefficient. So just please make sure that you can get those coefficients out of your calculator, because it's much, much harder if you have to calculate them longhand. Okay, so then I substitute the coefficients and the x into the formula, and if we look, my x is minus 2x when I compare it with this. So every time I see x, I'm going to write minus 2x, and I'll put the coefficients in. So I get 1 minus 2x all to the power of 11 gives me 1. I put the first coefficient in, 11, and then my x is the minus 2x plus the second coefficient times minus 2x squared plus a third coefficient times minus 2x cubed. I then use my calculator and work these out, remembering very carefully to always put my bracket in when I'm cubing, so I make sure I do cube the right thing. Okay, so I've got now this, I've got this expansion. So second part of the question says use the expansion to estimate the value of 0.98 to 11, power of 11 to 3 decimal places. So if we look, we've got this thing here, and we see that this is to the power of 11. So what we have to do to make it the same as this, I want 1 minus 2x to equal 0.98. And so I can just rearrange that by adding my 2x to one side and taking my 0.98 and dividing by 2, and I get that x equals 0.01. So once I know what my x value is, all I do is slot it into my expansion that I found in the first bit of the question to find out what this thing equals. And you can see that this thing is, you know, pretty hideous looking thing. And it's quite nice. You put in this 0.01 in all the places. You can use your calculator, and we work out 3 decimal places, and it comes out at 0.801. Okay, so that's how you use the binomial expansion to make estimations of numerical expansions. I hope that's helpful. Okay.